that pan.
Just suctions, never come off.
Never heard of a taco with asparagus. I know that's cool.
Lagun, right?
Yeah, red wagon.
Do you know how many miles you can go? So you got your license plate and you couldn't get it on the front. A few weeks ago, John and I drove down to Carlsbad, California, and met up with two couples, both of whom had taken ownership of a 2020 Ascent in the last 6 months. From both couples, I got some great tips, and so I thought I'd share those with you today. The first couple is Chuck and Connie. Connie, I think, chose not to be on camera, but they recently moved here from upstate New York.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, we made it to Carlsbad. Took a little bit longer than we thought because the traffic is getting worse and worse. But we're down here with Chuck and Connie, and they've moved here from Rochester, New York. So we're gonna, and they have a new 2020 Pleasure Way Ascent. And you're gonna tell us a little bit too about moving a vehicle to a new state and what you have to go, what you went through.
Right. Well, that was kind of a surprise. I mean, I would guess that most people in California, they buy their RV in California, so they're going to have everything sort of done at the dealership. So we realized that when we bought the RV, we got paperwork from the salesperson, said just give this to the DMV in California. So my son said that he waited 3 hours in the DMV line, so we made an appointment. That took 3 weeks to get our appointment, and then when we had our appointment, that was still a 45-minute wait. And then we took our stuff there, and we did all the paperwork and everything, and then they said, well, that's all fine, but you're incomplete. Did you bring your RV with you? And I said, no. And they said, I never heard of bringing your vehicle to the DMV in New York State. It's never been done before. And they said, no, you have to do it in California, and we inspect it. And apparently they look at all your different ID numbers, and it all has to do with the strict emissions rules for California. And so they want to make sure you don't.
Tip number one is take your RV with you to the DMV.
That was the big trip. We should have done that. And then they said you have to do an emissions test, smog test. And we learned that you have to go to a certain place that has a check mark out in front to do that, and we had to make an appointment for that. And so we went there, and the guy said, I'll pull it up to the bay to do the test. And he lifted up the front, and he said, I don't think I can bring this over and stop it. And I said, why? He said, your battery's missing from the front of the, because the tray is empty there.
Yeah, so you can get an extra battery in I don't know if they usually sell them that way, but anyway, Pleasure Way doesn't get their Mercedes chassis with that extra battery. It's this blank spot where you can put an ARB compressor like we did, or some people put their tool kit, they'll put it in a ammo box or something made out of metal and secure it into that hole. So
right. So
he thought the car had no battery.
Right. So I said, it's okay, you can turn it off. And so he did, because he didn't want it blocking his business for the day. And then I said, well, this has got to be a formality. I mean, it's a brand new vehicle. And he said, well, you're right. He said, we're not really going to test it. What we're going to do is we just hook up the computer lead. And he said, Mercedes runs all these tests on it. And he said, most people in your situation, when they show up, we have to send them out again because we can't work on it because they don't have enough miles on it, because it has to run enough miles for the Mercedes to do the diagnostic stuff so that it will pass the emission test.
Well, let me add on to that, because this happened to me. Before we went to Alaska, I had to get the car smogged, and but we wanted to have it serviced before we did. So we had it serviced, had the oil change, did the normal stuff we do, and they disconnect the battery and all these things. And then I took it in to have it smogged, and they said, we can't smog it because you don't have enough miles on it. So I then proceeded, because we were in a hurry. We were ready to hit the road. I then had to drive 100 miles around.
Oh my goodness, so you know exactly what we're talking about then,
So it's not just for new vehicles, it's also for anybody who's had work done, and they've made those disconnections between the computer and yes. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
so we did that, and then we went back and we pulled up to the inspection area, and there was nobody there. And we had to walk all the way back to the other end of the day. We asked, where are the people to do that? And they said, well, they also do the driver's test. They're out doing tests. So we waited till somebody showed up. So then we came back and we said, are we all set? And they said, gee, you know, we don't think that we can do this because one of these papers you have is a photocopy and we need the original. And he said, I don't think we can do it, but I'll go back and talk to the supervisor. So then they came back 10 minutes later and they say, we're going to let you do it so that here's your license plates for California. So John, you know, the interesting thing was, also, when we came across country, we used a lot of propane, so we went and found how to do that for our first time also. So the smog person, the DMV person, and the propane person, when they were finished helping us, they all whipped out their iPhone and showed us a picture of their RV that they had, you know. And I thought that was pretty funny, you know.
Oh, that's great.
Our vehicle came off the line in Saskatoon at the very end of October.
Oh, wow. So it was a hit and run.
Yeah, it was. And we were just waiting for it to come, and apparently the truck took quite a long time to get to the dealer from Saskatoon. And John, so then I've got the license plates. So then I said, I'm home, all I have to do is take off the temporary one. So I went in the back, and in the back, I went to take it off, and it turns out that the license plate holder had Torx head on it, and I had to look that up on the internet. And so I looked it up some more, and I found out that you could use your Allen wrench set.
Oh, right.
Will work for Torx head.
Well, actually, it's called, I've had a bunch of people tell me what it's called, a Robert screwdriver? Robertson.
Right.
And it's it was invented in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, and so that's why these vehicles, they're all, just everywhere. So you need to order and every color corresponds with a different size.
Huh.
And so we have several now just for various things that
Oh,
need
do
to
you
be,
really?
Yeah, so that's something
really
you might want to add to your toolkit.
Okay, well, that's really good to know.
Yeah, so let's go look at your license plate.
All right, now.
I'm going to correct too. They're not from Rochester. They're from Watertown, which is near though, right?
Yes.
And you went to U of R?
I went to U of R, met it, as well as my son and my daughter-in-law.
Okay, and my dad and brother went to U of R.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you got your license plate and you couldn't get it on the front.
So you can't really tell right now, but this just was the gray plastic, and it had 4 screws in it. And I said, well, that's fine. I'll just take these out and put the license plate in. And so when I took them out, this gray thing fell on the ground. And it turns out that there's separate holes here for the license plate that are different from the holes that are screwed in for this thing right here. So these are kind of odd because they're needle shaped and they're short, but they have to be thick enough to occlude the hole there. And so I went to Lowe's and the auto stores and everywhere, and I couldn't get anybody to help me, and ended up going to the Mercedes dealer. And and it sounded like I wasn't the first person to ask to get these screws from the Mercedes dealer, you know.
Yeah, because I had said, don't go to Mercedes, they'll
Right.
charge you too much.
That's right. So I went with trepidation, and I was prepared to tell them that I was going to put them on myself.
Okay, so you got the screws then from Mercedes. Did they charge you for them?
No.
Okay, good. So there you go. Get screws from Mercedes.
Right.
But don't get your death there.
But
Still got screwed by Mercedes.
Yeah, you still got screws.
but when I was at Mercedes, I had the chance to ask one of the salespeople who was the most knowledgeable about sprinters, and they actually have a big dealership, so they have one guy, and he's at the far end of the dealership, and there's like 5 sprinters out front. And apparently there's a fair amount of business where people will come and buy their Mercedes from them, and then this fellow will hook them up with a local outfitter that'll build it up.
Yes.
And so he was, he said, I want you to know about good things that are in the Carlsbad area, and he said, be sure to know about Agile Off-Road.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, I already know about that through Debbie and John,
Yeah. Chuck was keen to have me do a video on the new nav system on the Sprinter vans from Mercedes. And while I attempted to do that, I think it's just too much inside baseball for this channel, and I really couldn't capture a lot of it. So I have gone online trying to find other people who have done videos on that subject. I did find one that was somewhat helpful. So if you're having trouble figuring out the new nav system, you might want to check that out, or actually go to a dealership and have them walk you through that, because it is quite amazing system, but it can be complicated. We also got into a discussion about tire pressure. Apparently both Chuck and Connie, as well as Mark and Susie, who are the second couple we meet up with, when they got their new Pleasure Way Ascents, the front tires had been inflated to the same PSI as the back tires, which is 72. And according to the manufacturer, it should be at 49. So we did deflate the tires, the front tires on Chuck's van, and I think Mark had already taken care of that. The second couple, Mark and Susie, we met up with in Anza Borrego a few months ago. We spent a night camping out there. Mark is quite obsessed with organization, and so I wanted to get a video of his van and how he has organized things in the van. We are still in Carlsbad. This time we're back at Mark and Susie's home, and they met us out at Anza Borrego couple months ago, right?
Yep.
And I wanted to tour his van then, because he's kind of an organizational OCD kind of person. And we didn't get a chance to do it. So today we're going to go through all of his organizing stuff. You've taken it to a new level. So we're going to get that right now.
I found these now not on Amazon. I couldn't find them, but they're called OB Storage Netting. It's their own website where you get these. These are totally waterproof. So put our beach flip-flops here. I also put them in the bathroom, the wet bath. So, we've got shampoos and everything in there. So, we use it. They get wet, no big deal.
And so these things, though, these go way back.
And
you don't put anything back there. See, I put John's shoes.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it's just more storage. And I put two.
Okay.
Yeah, I just put them up here because it's, sometimes we just open the door to here, so I don't want to have to reach back. But now down here, everybody uses their, we got this at a surf shop, which really is awesome for the beach.
I like it.
It takes the sand off your feet quickly. It's funny, it's hard to open. Okay. So
is it easy to clean?
Just shake it out and all the sand just comes right out, and we just put it here. When we're at the beach, this is what we do.
Oh, and it's a nicer size than, you don't even have to cut it. That's
and then I got this, these
oh yeah, the
brooms
broom. I hang mine in the bathroom.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea. I just stick it here. All right. So I love this. This is kind of a man bag, I call it, man purse.
Okay, so maybe we should do a qualifier here.
Okay.
Tell them what your former profession was.
Former FBI agent.
Seriously?
And, yeah. I'm not. I went to the FBI Academy shortly after college, and ended up down in Florida. But I was a pilot too, so I gravitated just to.
I think that's where this comes from. This is pilot stuff.
Yeah.
FBI guys.
Both, I guess.
They got a new office not too far from here, don't they? Up on 15, a whole new office.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I know they're downtown because I got hired out of San Diego. Anyway, it's got all kinds of stuff, goody, man stuff. Keep all our keys. Look, I got them all labeled. If you don't do this, you're lost.
Oh yeah.
How can I do that?
Yeah, nice. John, look. I know these are bike keys. Wow.
Well, if I don't label them, it's crazy.
Right.
It's too many.
Nice job.
Yeah. And there's just all kinds of stuff in here.
What do you mostly keep in those bags?
Mostly electrical things, and I do have a couple things. Like a little knife. Here's a little air horn.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what else? Look at that.
Okay, so
look at that headliner. Oh my goodness.
So what I did with this, I know you and John did the board here. So I just got these off Amazon, and they basically just they stick to the Pleasure Way ceilings here, and they're really sturdy. Yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff. Like this is a kite to go fly down. I'm in a park. This is a hammock. I've got lights, first aid kits. So and I walk in here, and nothing's obstruct. I'm 6 foot tall, so I can get into the seat very easily. And then Susie and I put these in. These are kind of
Nice.
These are nice for our phones. We've got the new 11 Pro Max, fit nicely. And then I hooked this up so you can charge your phone, as you're driving.
Yep.
We got 2 of them. Now the 2019 chassis we love that electric sliding door. There's a lot of room in here.
Let me see how you've organized that cord there that you just pulled that out of there.
This here, basically, I got this and I just coil them up. I just don't want, loose cords. Part of my organization.
So did the cords come in that little case, or did you get that separately?
I think they did come in here, but then I thought, well, I'll just use it to keep them coiled up. This just goes in the cigarette lighter. All right.
Show me that table.
All right, this is the table we got from, it's called Adventure Van Company online.
That is gorgeous.
So it's actually an artist that creates these one-offs. You go online and you pick which one, and several of them were already sold. He was down to a couple of tables left, and actually I like this one. They show you the ones that were sold, but he uses resin, and this is reclaimed wood. Now what kind of wood I forgot, I don't know, but it fits on the Lagun table. One thing I like, it's a little smaller than the table that comes with the Ascent, and it's a lot lighter. I think the white table they get is kind of heavy.
That's gorgeous. So you'll give me the link to the people that made that?
Absolutely.
And it just sits under there.
Yeah, and then you could raise it up to the counter if you want to extend your kitchen counter.
Which could you do that with the other one?
Yeah, you could, but it's round.
Yeah.
This one I could make it, whatever, the shape.
Right.
To whatever I need.
Yeah,
that's the thing about the Lagun tables.
That's neat though, but to be able to raise it to this height.
Yeah, I can
that
just,
would be huge.
right from here and then just raise it. And you can tell the shape of it. I think it's 18 inches by something, and it's, I forgot, but.
Looks like 15 by 18 or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's nice, fits in here perfectly.
Oh, I just noticed your edge here is deeper than ours. And I'm working on I'm redoing the kitchen, I'm redoing my curtains.
Okay. Now we like these. The few times that we've camped out, we really like these. I know you and John don't like them. You've changed yours out, but
moreover, we needed more insulation.
Yeah, you guys go up to Alaska and all that. We don't do that. We kind of stay around here in the desert. But for us, we do like the Pleasure Way.
You know what else is different is this doesn't have a zipper in it.
Yeah, we don't have a.
That's weird. Okay, so what is that?
Okay, I wanted to show you these. These are called the Everything Keeper. So you pull them down, there's no screws. They come with already a tape, super good, double stick tape. So I keep our remote controls up here, and if we spend the night, I can put my wallet and phone up here if I want. And then I put one over here for Susie.
Nice.
And I just put those up a few weeks ago. They're about, this is the smaller one, the 10-inch. They have a 13-inch one too. Okay. And they're around $35 each.
Cool.
Now here's what I want to show you, Debbie. Because we've got so much stuff in here now. The trick, these are just for when we're sitting back by the beach. But everything is ready to go. Now, we like the window shades that came with the Pleasure Way. They fit in here.
Oh, they're nice. No doubt
they're
about
awesome.
it. They just took up too much space for us.
They fit in here for us because what I'm doing is using compression sacks for everything, and I have them labeled, of course, blue for boys. So here's a body pillow. I have to have a body pillow if I sleep, and same with Susie. And in here, you wouldn't believe.
Whose compression sacks are those?
Oh, I just bought them on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can get, they're
Oh, there
cheap.
it is right there.
They're cheap.
It was Bluefield. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you can cinch them down and make
Mm-hmm.
it really small. We have 2 memory foam pads in here, all the window treatments. We have a sleeping bag, 2 regular pillows, and 2 additional queen-size blankets. Everything fits in here mainly because of the compression sacks.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
And then it's a very big compartment back here. It's a lot
it
bigger
is.
than people think. You know, and it all fits nicely. And I made this, Debbie. I made this kind of more of the electric kind of room for me. Okay, I have a couple of DVDs, but I keep everything charged. Because the USB ports and electric
Yeah, you
sockets.
have this year.
In fact, I
had
even
a
have a.
extra. You guys have an extra outlet.
I got the
You don't
GoPro 8. See, it's constantly, just always 100% charged. I can just take it out.
have- Yeah, nice.
Oh, and I put a little light here too. That's just
Oh yeah,
lights
yeah,
it up.
tap light.
Little tap light, yeah.
Is that one rechargeable or is that battery?
Just a battery. We're ready to roll. If you ever just.
Oh, see now this is different. Open that up. Ours doesn't have this extra
Oh,
little. Yeah,
okay.
interesting.
It's kind of our junk drawer. I tell you, it works great. We really never cook. We have still never cooked in here. We had this 6 months already, but we keep everything stocked. And here, everything's
Yeah.
Eat pancake mix, you name it. Everything's in, and then in here, I've got everything you can. Even have a 3-quart instant pot, a coffee maker, pans, pots. One of each. Everything fits in here, and I still got tons of room in here. So,
Wow.
Pleasure Way did a great job. Let me show you the bathroom. I wanted to make use of all the space. These are extra bags for the garbage, and I found it on Amazon. And
It's a good idea.
there's about 7 bags in there. Now I put this handle in here, and I'll show you how it works because this is kind of hard to get in here. I'm 6 foot, so but just having this handle here really helps.
That is nice.
Get in and out. Over here,
Is that a new shower head or is that what kind came with
this
it?
came with it.
Okay.
And it works fine. I tried it once. This soap maker on, I'll give you the link, but I like it because it's a low profile and it's never leaked. It works great. And when I wash my hands, we sit here and after the gym. What
And
else?
this is just a suction cup, right?
Just suction. It's never come off.
Okay.
It's really good.
And
Now here's more of these.
this is suction also, right?
Yeah, this is just to hold you in.
Does that one ever come off?
Never. Has
And
never
then you've
come
got
off.
more of these.
Yeah, no, these are those OB netting.
This connection here is called a SNAD.
Yeah.
And I've ordered some because I'm trying it out. I'm going to try it out on my curtains.
Okay, the snads are awesome. These things do not come off. I mean, they just
And then
don't.
you've also got it down here. Now, did you cut?
No.
No,
No,
this one. You just got this one in the different size.
Yeah.
'Cause
Now.
I'm going to make.
Okay, I think I switched out. They come with the small ones, and these are just a little large size, but it's much. For the bathroom, I wanted more grip. But like I said, these have never come off. And I keep. They're handy. They're waterproof. You don't have to.
Yep.
So let me get out of here, and you could look at.
And then did you paint that? 'Cause
No,
ours
no,
is bamboo colored.
no. This is. I think it's bamboo, but I just like this color.
Yeah,
and
that is nice.
It's Neil from Ultra Mobility. I think was addressing this, and so I went right online and found it, and I just preferred that color. I love this thing because just attaches to the bar.
Yeah, I love what you did there, attaching that.
Now these are towels. There's like 5 towels in this thing. This is a hair dryer. Haven't used it yet, but I like everything outfitted. And as you can see, I got several products.
Oh, and then you're using a tension bar to keep the products from falling out.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Right.
Great.
And then, I tell you, I put stuff here when we first got it without the net. And what happened is the seam, right, not here, but way back here, split. And so I had to get some
Weird.
waterproof sealant and fix it myself. But I learned a lesson not to put too much pressure, on this bar and the wall. It'll come apart.
Okay, it's good to know.
So, this is our hammock rack. It's from McLean. They're the only ones in the country that we know of. And you put your pin here.
Wow.
So.
But does okay.
Yeah, no, we can't open the whole
No.
thing because I got the bikes on today, but basically the other one would do the same thing. And then they come out and they lock.
Oh my gosh.
And now, like I said, I keep the hammock up there and they clip in from one side to the other, and it is so relaxing. Just boom, done.
Yeah, you back into a spot and you're right there.
That's what we do.
After the video with Mark and his organizational skills, we then drove down to the beach with our Rad Minis, where we took a ride with Susie and Mark. We also met another couple that had just gotten the same bikes, and then we ran into another man who had his son on the back of one of the Rad wagons, and I ended up chasing him, or actually I ended up racing him and beating him. So if you'd like to see that footage, stick around.
Never heard of a taco with asparagus. I know that's cool.
You were faster because you were going downhill. That's why. I could beat you on a hill though. Going up.
How much money you got?
I could beat you going uphill.
How much money you got? I'll bet you.
I don't have very much.
I'm 205 pounds. He's 75. 175.
Yeah, that's why.
I'll still beat you.
No.
Watch. Let's go over and go this hill. Watch.
All right, I won. Hey, thanks. Good luck. I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions, pop them below. I'll put the links to the items that were mentioned in the description box below. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.